Greetings and welcome to Ghost Chat and Other Paranormal Things. I'm your host, Elisa. Electric Elisa, I guess. That's what I usually call myself. I'm tired today.
I am Jody. Hello, how are you?
And we are gonna do some movie reviews.
Yes.
And whatever else pops up. I'm trying to think all the things going on in the paranormal news world. Can you think of any?
In the paranormal news world, no, I haven't really been looking. As soon as I get home, I just collapse from work. Pretty much. I don't really look at too much. Sightings, like UFO sightings I've heard about.
Yeah. And there's a lot of AI generated stuff now.
Yeah, there are. And I don't know what's real anymore and what's not.
If it looks like you're watching a movie, I tend to go with that being AI.
Yeah, true.
I know there's been a lot of talk. Oh gosh, the big thing is there's some guy that people are calling the Antichrist.
Okay.
But I don't think so.
Yeah.
Just
probably just a jerk.
I'll have to show you. I'll have to send you a video about that.
Okay, yeah.
But no, I don't think so. Just because of a lot of things. But you'll understand when you see it.
Yeah.
And then the poles shift. I mean, that's been a topic for a while now.
Yeah.
The poles are supposedly shifting, but they're saying it's kind of normal.
Yeah, I guess so. That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's something we're supposed to notice or not.
I don't know either. Birds may notice.
Yeah, I'm sure they would.
And then they think there's lava underneath Arizona.
Are there volcanoes nearby?
Well, dormant ones, yeah.
Interesting.
So I don't know, but there isn't a whole lot detail about that either. And
they're predicting a big earthquake in California too, but that's not really something you can predict.
They're finding ways, new technology and stuff.
They do give us earthquake warnings now. They're only seconds before.
Yeah.
And they only give us, they're on our phones, and they only give us warnings if it's going to be a 6.0 or bigger.
Okay.
And it's literally within seconds. There was one a while back, maybe 6 months ago, I don't know. I was chatting with a friend online, and all of a sudden our phone said earthquake warning, hold on, I think it said, or something. I'm like, oh my God. And so I just felt a shift, just a little bit of a shift.
Oh, wow.
Right after 5 seconds after they predicted it, or not predicted, warned us.
Yeah, I've fortunately never been in an earthquake.
Yeah.
I mean, I know for you, growing up, there was no earthquakes.
Nope.
And we didn't have those. And then, so what was it like when you first?
Well, I think there was one. I felt one on July. There was one on July 5th and July 6th here. I can't tell you what year. I'm pretty bad about that. But to me, I was sitting on the sofa and it felt like I was on a bumpy train. It was like movement and bumps, like not just like wiggling, but movement, like your house is being pulled, and bumps at the same time. Felt like a bumpy train. It definitely felt strong.
Yeah.
And the chandelier swayed, and the pictures on the wall were vibrating. It's kind of exciting in a way, but it wouldn't be exciting if I felt a huge one. So I don't want to,
jinx it. It might be exciting, but not in the right way.
Right. Scary exciting. But I like being scary. So
but not that way.
Yeah, right. Nothing destructive or dangerous. I don't want to be scared.
In an earthquake, are you supposed to go into the doorways?
No, that's a myth.
Okay.
If it's really bad, you can go outside. That way you don't want anything to fall on you is the thing.
Right.
And a lot of these buildings here are earthquake proof, so they probably wouldn't fall in on you. Hopefully not. But you can go out into an open area. If you can find an open area, there are buildings everywhere, so who knows? But I think staying put, just staying where you are is the best thing. But the doorway thing is just a myth.
Okay.
Old wives' tale. That doesn't do anything. I don't know. There's not. It's the whole Earth is moving, so there's not much you can really get away
Right.
from. You just have to make sure nothing falls on you. Wear a helmet
At all times.
at all times because you never know.
You don't know. Yeah. You don't know when that might happen.
That's right. If they could predict them, that'd be even better. Then we'd know.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's the same, for people not having experienced tornadoes, but nowadays I think everybody does.
Yeah. They've even had some in LA. They've had tornadoes in LA. It's very rare.
Yeah.
I'm sure they don't know what to do with them here.
Yeah, they don't happen often here, but they have in the last year, maybe a couple of years.
Yeah. I think we're both in a climate that's a little bit too dry for tornadoes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll see what monsoon season brings.
Right. There's that.
Maybe. Who knows? Yeah. So we were going to talk a little bit about some movies we've seen. A coworker recommended this one, The Prodigy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anybody has seen that one. But
I have not.
But basically, at the same time this child is being born, I don't know if this guy's a serial killer. You kind of think he might have been, but anyway, in the beginning of the movie, he murdered somebody, or he tried to, and she got away. That's what it was. Anyway, at the exact same time this child is being born, this guy is killed in a shootout. Wow. So, of course, where does his soul go? Into the baby.
Into the baby.
Yep.
An evil baby.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's all I'll say about that one. Yeah. I'm not going to even go in depth with how that went. Was it well done? Yes, it was a well done movie.
Was it a pretty recent one, or is this like years back?
When did this come out? Let me check.
I seem to remember one coming out with that name many years ago, but
2019.
This is pretty recent. Okay, let me look, because I think I saw one. I think I did see one with that title, but it was many years. I want to say in the 70s or something. Yeah, I see the 2019. Well, that's the only one that's bringing up is the one from 2019. So you could be right. Must be something else with that title. Maybe our listeners know of something similar.
Yeah. I know I think there was one that came out maybe in the 90s.
Oh, did it? Okay.
But I think it was not like in the horror genre.
Oh,
but I don't know. I could be thinking of something else.
Yeah. This is interesting. Google says the movie The Prodigy that references the 70s is actually the 2019 horror film, not a movie from the 1970s itself. Okay. I wonder why I think that. Maybe because they refer to the 70s, but I haven't seen the movie, so how would I know that? That's weird.
I don't know.
Maybe it was a dream I had.
Maybe.
And there's a band called The Prodigy, too.
Yes. Well.
But that has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, minus the lead singer now, but.
Oh, I didn't know that. Did he pass away? I did not know that. Okay, well, rest in peace.
And then after that, I watched a movie called Come Play, and that was about an autistic boy who is using a tablet a lot, and somehow this thing comes through.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's a little more complex to explain than that, but that's just the easiest way. And that was pretty good.
Was it? Anybody that we would know in it, or just be
no.
Okay. Those are usually the best.
Well, yeah, I'm seeing a lot of movies with I don't know who's in it.
Yeah. B-list actors or whatever.
And then I watched I saw another one called Multiverse.
Okay.
It's another 2019 one. It wasn't bad. Was it? it had an interesting thing happen in it. So these people are trying to basically see if parallel universes are real, and they find out.
They find out.
They find out. And
That one I think I'd like to see.
yeah. And sometimes that's not always a good thing.
Yeah. There was a movie I saw like that that's similar. I got to look it up and see what it is,
I
but
think there's a few.
there's a few, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. This one had like a quantum computer in it where they were trying to make how do it started out talking about Mandela effects, and then this man found out that these people were experimenting with a quantum computer to try to check into parallel universes.
Oh,
I think it might have been called the Mandela effect.
I did see a movie called that.
There's probably a few. Yeah, this one.
Yeah, right.
Guess what year? This one is the one. That is the title of it. And guess what year it came out? 2019.
Oh,
That was the year for movies. Well, that's dumb. Movies come out every year, but
yeah.
that seems to be the year for movies that we are talking about.
Right.
But the Mandela Effect from 2019 is an excellent movie. That's something definitely to check out for folks
I'm
that are
pretty
into
sure
that
I
kind
saw
of.
that one.
Yeah, I liked it. I saw it a couple or three times.
2 or 3.
2 or 3 times. If I like it, I'll watch it again.
I have to wait a while till I forget enough of the movie.
Yeah, and sometimes when I watch it again, I see things I didn't notice before. So that's kind of cool.
Well, it's
Or
like
I understand it better.
yeah. I recently watched Darkness again, and that's from 2002,
Oh, okay.
which you need to watch.
Darkness. That seems like so long ago.
It was.
2002.
Yes.
Wow.
And it's creepy.
Yeah. I'm usually not into zombie movies per se, but I saw one I liked called Pontypool. I know that's a weird name,
Yeah, it is a
but
weird name.
it's Pontypool. I don't know how they came up with that or what that means, but it's in a radio station, and this creeps me out. He starts out talking about just like we are, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Wait, I'm getting some weird message from the news station. There's reports of people biting people. I mean, that sounds funny as hell, but it kind of creeped me out that he was hearing this in his news thing as he was just delivering his regular podcast or whatever he was doing. He wasn't a podcaster. He was DJ, whatever they called them. It was a radio station.
Oh, okay.
So he was a radio station person, and he was
That
hearing news
sounds
about.
familiar.
Yeah, and they have symptoms. These zombies have these symptoms that they start out where they are saying things that don't make sense to anybody. They're jumbling up their words. And this part also creeped me out. There's a lady in there who I think is his ex-wife. She runs the station with him. And there's a young girl, a teenager, that helps. She's kind of like a student aide. And all of a sudden she starts saying things that don't make any sense. And she's in there with them. So you know that something bad's about to go down, that she's
Ooh.
about to turn into one. She's just making no sense. She's saying things words that are not in chronological order or whatever. So it's super called Pontypool. I don't know what year that came out, but that's a good one.
I bet I've seen that because that when you were talking about the person talking about getting reports about people biting people, that sounded
people
familiar.
people.
Like
It came out in 2008.
Oh yeah, probably saw it.
Probably did. Yeah, I want to see that one again, but it's not on. It's hard to stream because it costs too much, or you can't find it on any, or you have to subscribe to something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't. Shutter would be a good one to subscribe to. I like the idea of Shutter, but I don't subscribe to it yet. A lot of movies are on there that I want to see.
And Mubi TV has a lot.
They do have a lot of free ones.
Yeah.
Sometimes with ads, but that doesn't bother me. I don't care if there are ads.
Yeah. Darkness is on that one right now, or it was.
Oh, nice. Okay. I do have Tubi.
What was it? Something I was thinking. I don't remember what it was.
Well,
okay.
I did see one other one that freaked me out too. And a lot of people that saw this thought it was either boring or they just didn't like it. Dumb. They thought it was dumb. But it's another movie that's a strange title, Me and the Strange Titles, but it's called Skinamarink. And
Yep.
what scared me about this, I know you saw this, what scared me
Mm-hmm.
about it, I don't want to say too much, is that the two things you think are safe are suddenly not safe. Your parents and your home. And their parents started acting really weird. If it was even their parents, they may have been demons. I don't know. Because I will say, as much as I think the house turned demonic on them, it wouldn't let
Mm-hmm.
them out. It had no exits. All of a sudden, you don't have any exits. And like I said, the two things as a child that are supposed to be safe to you, your home and your parents, are no longer safe. And so that is kind of what freaked me out about that
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah. And it's from the perspective of those like very young kids.
I know. They just show their feet throughout
Uh-huh.
most of the movie and just weird angles of things and
Mm-hmm.
anything paranormal where the house is doing things it shouldn't be doing. The house is alive. That kind of scares me a little bit because, houses aren't supposed to have minds of their own. But
No,
I think they have souls though, because so many people have lived there, a
but
lot of
that's
different
not
people.
the house's soul, it's the souls of those people or
Yeah, that's
something.
true. Yeah, that's true.
But I don't know that they're in every house.
I don't know either. This is the first house. No one's lived in this house that my mom lives in except for her. But who knows what was on this land
Right.
years and years ago.
That's one thing, people forget when they think
Yeah.
about houses and things, and it's that information is just not readily available when you're looking for a place to live.
No, not always.
I mean, you'd have to spend a lot of time trying to find that information
Yeah, you would.
if you could.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I lived in a 100-plus-year-old house in my hometown, my home city. Wait, my home state. And I really couldn't find out any information about it, even though it was a
Mhm.
100 some years old. It was a small town, so maybe that was why I couldn't find anything at their little library. But sometimes you can't always find any information out about it. Just depends.
Yeah. There was another movie I saw,
Mm-hmm.
um, and it was called Dark Encounter,
Oh,
and that one definitely had a twist I did not see coming.
wow, those are great.
That yeah, and all I could say is it went from creepy to sad, and not for the same reasons.
Oh, really? Dark
Uh-huh.
Encounters?
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down. I have a little
Encounter,
list.
just one.
Just one. Just one. I have a list of movies that I want to see. I've seen some ads for some interesting movies. Have you seen an ad? It sounds funny for a movie called Clown in a Cornfield.
No.
Doesn't that sound hilarious?
Yes, it
Clown in a
does.
corn. I'm thinking it's a slasher about a clown,
Oh,
about a crazy clown. That's kind of what it looked like. But I don't know. That doesn't bother me. I think it looks interesting. I'd watch it. Clown in a Cornfield.
I know there's the one. I haven't seen it yet, and I know a lot of people want to see it, and I think you've even mentioned it. Is like the one. Was it Talk to Me with the hand?
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah. I'm trying to remember. I saw it once only, and it was about it. I kind of steer away from movies that talk about a group of teenagers or a group of college students. Those usually are
Right.
just boring jump scare movies, and this was a jump scare movie, and it had teenagers in it. But yeah, it was about a possessed object. It was okay. It was just your basic scary movie.
I'm going back to the. I know I was going through all those and I was sending them to you.
Yeah,
Those movies. What were they? Because I really, really want to see some of those. But yeah, one of them is The Woman in the Yard.
oh, I've heard about that. Never seen it though.
Yeah. There's another one called Are You There?
Oh, that one sounds kind of good.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll have to see if some of our listeners have seen these and what they can tell us about them.
Yeah, because it says, like, the woman in the yard, when the sun is bright and the wind is still, she comes to you like a sudden chill.
Wow. Sounds like a poem we would have written in high school.
Yeah. And then the are you there is a paranormal psychology student. What's a paranormal psychology student?
I don't know. I guess parapsychology, they study.
Well, I know, but it's funny because a lot of places don't have that.
Yeah. I don't know.
It was popular in the 70s.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Um,
That was when we were young tots.
yeah. And it said that, and I remember the preview was like she was trying to contact her mom.
Oh, okay.
I think it was her mom.
I've
Anyway.
never really tried to contact anyone that I've done Ouija boards and I've done seances, always just people I don't know or whoever comes through. I've never tried to actually contact someone I know that have passed away.
No,
I've
I
had
don't usually do that.
Yeah, I've had dreams of them, but that's not
Mhm.
my doing.
Right. Yeah, I usually don't because I'm like, I don't want to bother them.
Right, right. They're not with us anymore, so, you know. I guess you could do people want to say goodbye. Maybe a lot of people didn't
Hmm.
get a chance to say goodbye. Maybe that's their way of doing so. I'm not sure, but I say goodbye in my own way. I don't try to conjure them up. I just
Right. Yeah.
talk to them in my head or whatever sometimes.
Yeah. And I mean, if they're around, I mean,
They'll make themselves known, don't you think?
yeah. I mean, now we've all done the question of is there anybody here? But if there's somebody there, then it's not like you conjured them; they're already there.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. That makes sense. So who knows?
And then we were talking about that movie, The Presence.
Oh yeah, I've seen the ads for the presents. It's kind of a new one. I thought it
Yeah.
looked interesting,
Mm-hmm.
but I think you said that you heard people saying it wasn't very interesting.
Well, it wasn't that they didn't say it wasn't interesting. They just said it wasn't scary.
Wasn't scary. Okay. Yeah, that sounds like there was a movie that disappointed me a few years back. I thought it would be much better than it was about the Winchester house. And I think it was called The Woman in Black. And it had the Harry Potter guy, whatever his name is, the guy that played Harry Potter. It had
Oh,
him
I
in it.
didn't realize that was about the Winchester house.
I think it was supposed to be, unless I'm getting two movies mixed up. I didn't think it was very scary at all. I thought it would be much better than it was.
I saw it, but I didn't. I was like, eh.
Yeah, that's how I was. And then I heard that movie Nostradamus, I heard was not very scary.
I didn't know there wasn't a Nostradamus
Oh, not
movie.
Nostradamus. Not Nostradamus. Jody, really? It's I'll look it up. Please stand by. It's got Johnny Depp's daughter in it.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't want to give empty space.
I'm
Nos,
yeah.
not, Nos, Nosferatu. Nostradamus. Nosferatu.
Oh,
Oh my god.
there's kind of a big difference.
Yeah, huge difference. It starts out with an N, and that's about it. Anyway, Nosferatu. I saw the ads for that. The ads were all over the place for a while, but I heard it's not very scary. It's just your typical vampire movie, which don't really impress me that much.
I I think sometimes the movies have a deeper meaning to them
Mm-hmm.
than what is on the surface.
Yeah, they do.
And
There's
what I understand about that movie is it has that.
okay. Yeah,
But I saw the original, which was a silent film.
I haven't even seen that yet.
I mean, it's a silent film, so
It's about as good as a silent film will be. I've seen a couple of those.
but I don't know if I saw like the whole thing. I don't even, I just
Yeah.
remember like there was a movie about doing that movie. like making that movie.
Really?
Anyway, I think I don't know. Maybe I'm getting a bunch of movies mixed up together. I don't know.
I do that all the time.
But no, I think there was a comedy. Anyway,
Yeah. I always get my movies mixed up. Or sometimes I get it mixed up with real life.
well,
Occasionally. Or
hopefully it's not
dreams.
a horror movie that you're getting mixed up with real life.
That would be weird. Or sometimes with dreams. Sometimes your dreams are so good they could be a movie.
That's true.
Lately my dreams have been very strange in that, again, with the exits, that I'm in a mall or some kind of public place and I can't find the exit anywhere. No matter where I go, I can't get out. Like being
Ew,
trapped.
that's not a nice dream.
No, it's not very pleasant. I don't always dream like that. Occasionally my dreams lately, which might be an anxiety dream, I don't know.
Probably. But
Being trapped, maybe being trapped by your own brain or being trapped by anxiety or whatever. Something like that.
it sounds kind of like, there's people that talk about liminal spaces.
Yeah, exactly. Those are freaky. Or the back
Yeah.
rooms or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have dreams about that a lot. There was a movie, speaking of movies too, a while back about liminal spaces, about someone getting dropped off in a neighborhood with the houses absolutely identical and the clouds were even identical. And I'll look it up in a minute. And it almost looked like a copy and paste world where somebody just copied the world and then they pasted it to make everything look similar. I'll look that one up. That was kind of freaky.
Yeah. Brian and I saw a movie like that where they went
That
and
might be the same one.
I can't remember the name of it, but yeah.
This one I think was alluding to aliens.
Maybe.
Vivarium.
Yeah.
Vivarium.
Yes,
What
that
it's
was
called.
it.
Yeah. That was good. I like that movie. It had Jesse Eisen. Whoops, I went to TikTok accidentally. Had Jesse Eisenberg in it, and I don't remember who played his wife in the movie or girlfriend or whatever. Somebody I
Yeah.
hadn't heard of. Vivarium. Yeah, it's like they did a copy and paste of the whole world, and they
Mm-hmm.
couldn't get out of that neighborhood. They had a
Yes.
car, but they couldn't get out.
Yeah.
That's creepy. That's similar to dreams that I've had.
Yeah.
And you don't have a phone for some dumb reason in the dream to call for help, or the phone won't work. Just sucks.
Yeah, that movie was kind of frustrating too in
It
parts
was,
of it,
wasn't it?
and a lot part of it.
Well, and it had that child in it, just wouldn't stop screaming.
You remember way more than I do.
Yeah. I want to see that one again as well. I've seen it 2 or 3 times. But it's been a while.
And then any ghost experiences lately?
I haven't had anything myself. Not really any ghosts, just weird dreams of loved ones that have passed on, where they're talking to me or whatever. I'm not sure I always know what they're saying, but sometimes they'll act like they're trying to tell me something. But no ghostly experiences. My cat hasn't been acting well. My cat always acts weird. He loves to get up at 5 a.m. and just meow around the house. Meow, 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 meow. Just let everyone know that he's up. Why so early, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he senses something.
Yeah. Usually my cats will get up and they're like, during the week they know like what time I'm gonna feed them roughly.
Yeah.
On the weekends, I sleep a little later.
Yeah.
And then so I get one of them, at least she comes in and she's looking at me like,
He's like, hey, are you getting
hello.
up or what? Are you
Yeah.
getting up? They don't understand weekends.
No. And then there was something weird that happened. Gosh, was it a month or two ago?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I messaged you about it, but you'll remember that we have one of those cool neon light things behind the
Oh yeah.
couch.
Yep.
And it was just me and the dogs home, and the cats, of course, but I don't know where they were. And we had been up and down from the couch, and I think June was laying on the couch, being a couch potato. And then I was sitting there, I don't know what I was doing, but then all of a sudden the light came on behind me, that neon light, and I was like,
Why did
what?
that happen?
Yeah, I was like, no, we've been up and down from this couch. Why would it come on? And then, I was like, well, I'm going to pull the couch out more because, yeah, because it did that like a few times. And I was like, this is weird.
Is it plugged in or battery operated?
It's plugged in.
That is weird.
It has a switch on it, a button or something. And I was like, well, maybe it bumped the wall or got too close to the wall. But when I was looking at it, I'm like, it'd be hard to do with that. And it's been like this. So I don't know. I don't know what that was. But it was around the time that I was also editing the old episode.
Oh, so maybe
and that seems to like do something when you're like,
seems to bring somebody about
or something. It was weird. My mom was supposed to send me
playful ghost or poltergeist or something.
Yeah, and my mom was supposed to send me. She wrote a story about my dad visiting her after he had passed.
Wow! I was wondering if she's had that experience.
Well,
if she's seen him.
I wasn't sure either because I thought, but I haven't lived, near her in a while, so
yeah. I wonder if she's had dreams about him.
I don't know.
She might not believe they're. Some people don't. They think they're just dreams, and maybe they are. They probably are. But some people think that it may be messages.
Well, no, I think my mom's more open-minded than that. Because when my grandma had come and told me those things, and then I had to run that stuff by her because I was like, I've never heard her say stuff like this before, but she was pretty quiet. But my mom actually was like, yeah, that sounds like her.
Huh, really? Wow.
So, I mean, I think she had that recent experience about that woman in the yellow dress too, so that was weird.
The yellow dress woman, that was very weird.
Yeah.
We talked about that in our last broadcast, so tune into our last broadcast if you missed it, because it's definitely a good one.
Yeah. That was weird. But also my uncle saying that about, oh, well, it's probably like a fourth dimension or something, or
could be
another dimension, and there's people and that bump into him and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I heard in a movie one time that someone had thought about it this way, where some people see things and some people don't. It's like being in a tunnel where some people just have a stronger flashlight than other people. And so I thought about that. I thought, yeah, that's kind of an interesting way of looking at it. Some people have a stronger flashlight.
Yeah, and I have dimmed mine.
Yeah. Sometimes when we get older, we do.
Yeah, because I didn't want to see anything.
Okay, yeah. I think children and animals seem to see a lot, sense a lot, because children are innocent and they don't block things out, whereas we block things out.
Yeah, we learn to block things out.
Yeah. I just think of things, if I see something or hear something, I'm like, oh, that was my imagination. But I'll hear voices. I'll hear my name. Clear as day. Sometimes it sounds like my mom, sometimes not, but I'll hear my name, and I'll just be lying in bed, awake. And it's very strange. I haven't had that experience in a while, but I'll hear it. Usually it's a woman's voice.
Wow.
Yeah.
I probably heard stuff. Yeah, I probably heard like that when I was younger, but
yeah.
I probably was like, I'm not really hearing that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we can be haunted by people that are still alive, as well. My mom has told me before, years ago, when I had just lived here not very long, and she was downstairs and I was upstairs getting ready, and she heard my voice. She thought I was downstairs. She heard my voice clear as day and was answering me, and turned around and I wasn't there. And then I had just come down after that, and I told her, "I wasn't me, Mom. I just, came down." She goes, "I'm not crazy. I could have sworn I heard your voice asking me questions. That's freaky, to be haunted by somebody that's alive."
I wonder what kind of questions.
I don't even remember if she told me or what the questions were, but she was so sure that I was talking to her that she turned around to answer me and I wasn't there. She thought maybe I said something and left the room or whatever. Yikes. We've seen shadows there before. I've had a fan go on by itself, not plugged in, just a fan start turning its blades. There was a shadow in the kitchen. The way the TV is positioned when you're sitting in the living room, if the TV goes dark or there's a dark spot on the TV, you can see someone in the kitchen. And so her friend was over visiting for a while and using the bathroom, and I could have sworn, I said, "Oh, he's in the kitchen. I see his reflection in the TV." She's like, "He's still in the bathroom. The door is closed." And sure enough, he came out of the bathroom. He had been there the whole time. But I know I saw a vision or a shadow in the, what do you call that? The TV.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I can't think of the word. Anyway, the TV reflection. Reflection. I could have sworn I saw a shadow or something in the kitchen. So that was every once in a while we see our eyes play tricks on us or something like that. I don't know if that's the real thing or that's just, something we're seeing or something we're not seeing.
Wow.
But that hasn't happened for a long time, so I don't know. Whatever it is, it may have moved on.
Yeah, that's weird. I mean, I remember seeing a lot of shadow things.
Yeah.
But
shadow people. I'm
not here.
Shadow people, but just shadows. Not there. Not at your house now.
No.
You left it all behind.
That's right. It needs to stay behind.
Yeah. I haven't seen too much here.
I just have dogs that are passed out sleeping.
Yep. My cat's passed out too. He's sound asleep.
I'm sure mine are somewhere. I'm sure one's in a box.
They always find boxes to go into.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
That's cats for you.
Yeah.
Well, if anyone has any paranormal stories that they'd like to share, our email is thespookysisters@gmail.com. I almost forgot.
Oh, you're cutting out here and there. So it's the Spooky Sisters 666@gmail.com.
Yep. Maybe there's a ghost in the machine here.
Perhaps. Because we slightly mentioned the episode. Not even by name.
And yours glitches a little bit, but just the picture glitches. Your sound is perfect.
Ooh, but that'd be creepy if the picture glitched and then there was something else sitting there.
Oh, God. I would let you know for sure. I'm watching behind you just in case.
Have you seen those videos they do? With someone's talking and then something happens behind them?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Those are creepy.
Very much. All I see behind you is a vent.
Yeah.
Now it says reconnecting. There's a thing. I think we're still here. But there was a little box in front of your face that said reconnecting. And it kind of swirled around in a circle. But I think we're still here. We're good. Oh, did it again. Reconnecting. But you're still moving. I see you blinking. That's weird. I don't know. We'll have to listen back to this.
Yeah.
It's weird. We'll have to listen back to this and see if we hear anything in the background.
That is weird. Right? Yeah. I'll have to, because I was telling you before, I'll have to write down all the things I forgot. Okay. I'm gonna try and get some other people on because those personal stories are always good.
I know, those are the best ones.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody has any stories, that definitely drop us an email, and we can either have you on our show or we will just tell your stories over the air.
Did I hear a cat in the background?
Nope. He's been very quiet. He's on his bed.
It's in my house.
Oh, that's what you heard.
Yeah.
I don't hear it.
There's a cat meowing.
Huh? That's funny. I don't hear it.
Weird. Okay. It's very faint, so
maybe it's a ghost cat. I believe in those too. I definitely believe in ghost animals.
No, because I heard jingling. The poor things. We should probably take the bells off.
Well, I tried to put a collar on Einstein once. He wasn't having it. He was not having it. He did not want anything around his neck. So we gave up. He ended up using it as a toy. We took it off and he batted it around a little bit. Like a little weirdo.
The dogs like to take each other's collars off.
How funny. Give me that.
Yeah,
I want to wear it.
Yeah. No, they carry it around in their mouth.
Well, I did like the AI images we did with ChatGPT.
Oh, yes.
That's an interesting web app. I like that. Not web app.
Yeah.
Just
with yeah. So you might want to explain to people what?
Yeah, what this is ChatGPT. This isn't an ad or anything because it's free, and I don't get anything for it. Download the the Chat GPT app, and you can ask it all kinds of things. What I did specifically was, because people were doing it over the internet, was I asked them to take a picture of my cat and show me AI image of what it would look like as a person, what my cat would look like as a person. And my cat's orange, and so of course it gave me a picture of a young boy, well, not young, but 20-something-year-old kid with the red mustache and red beard and red hair. But although Einstein is actually, I think, my age, I think he's in his 50s. So that kind of is inaccurate, showing a younger, 20-something-year-old.
You could specify. You could say.
That's true. Well, it did ask me, it's funny, it asked me, what's your cat personality like? And so It does ask that, so that's kind of interesting. And then I did, what would I look like as a dog, and what would I look like as a cat? And so it showed me that, and that was kind of fun.
Yeah, I did that with the dogs, and I got as far as one cat. And I don't know, it's pretty funny.
You can ask it other things too. I haven't tried, but you could probably ask ChatGPT questions like, do aliens exist? It'll give you some generic answer like, well, it is rumored that aliens exist, and there are such things as UFOs. UFO could be anything. It says a basic unidentified flying object. Someone on Facebook said if a dildo hits you in the face, before you realize what it is, it's an unidentified flying object. Before you've realized. So, that could be anything, but a spaceship is something totally different. Anyway, it's ChatGPT, and you can have fun with it, ask it things, and give a picture of yourself and have it show you what you would look like, what your pets would look like, et cetera, et cetera. It showed me the other day what I'd look like as a 100-year-old woman. So that was...
Yeah, I didn't agree with that one.
Well, that was kind of weird. I mean, I gave it a picture of myself when I had black hair, and it showed me, what my hair would look like at 100 years old, and it was pretty thin.
Yeah. I mean... Yeah. That does happen, I guess.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
Download the app, kids, because it's fun.
Yeah, it is free unless you want to pay some horrible amount of money every month for it.
Well, yeah, I'm sure there's some money that you can pay, and you could probably get more features, but it actually does quite a few things that are kind of cool for free. Let's see what your pets look like as humans and post it on Facebook so we can all see.
Right. Yeah.
You got to do a picture of yourself, what you look like as a cat. I want to see that. Or a dog.
Yeah, I had to wait a while to be able to use it again to do that kind of stuff because I maxed out.
It does. You did? I didn't know you could do that. It does take a while to get a picture too. It says lots of people are using this app right now, so this might take a few minutes. But it didn't really. It took a couple of minutes. Didn't take very long. But yeah, I didn't know you could max it out. So you'll have to wait to come back to it.
You only get so many image generations.
Probably in a day or whatever.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I wonder what the tortoise would look like as a person.
I don't know. But I don't know.
Yeah,
Hard
I don't
telling.
know.
Yep, just upload a picture of a tortoise and then ask it to make it into a person, see what you get.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, there's not a lot to go on there.
No, not really. You have to get close up of its face. You kind of make sure you get the actual face in there and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to do.
Yeah.
Well, like and subscribe.
Yes. And
don't forget
email
to email
us.
Yes.
Email us with your stories.
Yes, we can have you on the show as a guest.
Yeah. People like to hear other people's stories. I mean, that's what we find.
That's very interesting. Any, just not even paranormal, but UFO stories. If you've seen something, describe it to us. Bring pictures, alien.
Yeah.
Anything at all. We want to hear all about strange dreams. Maybe dreams that became a reality. Something you saw in a dream and then you saw it in real life. You know, you never know.
Yeah. And we're going to do a live show again soon.
Yes, we'll do that very soon.
So if you'd like to be on our live show, let us know.
Drop us a line. We're also on Facebook under Ghost Chat and Other Paranormal Things.
Podcast.
I was going to say, I knew there was another word in there. Podcast. Right. You can find us on there and send us a message as well. All right. Well, this has been fun.
Yes. And ta-ta for now.
Ta-ta for now, everybody. Bye.